Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a delicious recipe, an amazing pizza with few calories, low in carbs, very easy to make, inexpensive, quick, and absolutely delicious. The whole family will love it. Stick around, don't miss it. If you love easy, quick, affordable, and healthy recipes, you're going to love this channel. Take the opportunity to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I have new videos every day and you're going to love them. Let's get started with our recipe. And just a reminder, the ingredients, quantities, and nutritional information, as always, will be down below in the description. The first ingredient for our delicious recipe, because it really will be delicious, don't be prejudiced, I'm going to use grated zucchini here. And I'm going to add a little salt here because I want to draw out some of the liquid that zucchini usually has. Zucchini has a very high water content, and that's actually a good thing. It helps reduce bloating and all that. But in this recipe, if there's too much liquid, it won't have the consistency we're looking for. So I'm going to add a bit of salt here, mix it in, and wait about 5 minutes because the salt will work by osmosis, drawing out some of the excess liquid from the zucchini, and then I'll squeeze it in a dish towel to remove the rest. Remember that zucchini, besides the water it contains, is rich in vitamins, antioxidants, minerals, and fiber, and it has very little carbohydrate, so it's an excellent addition. I have a video on the benefits of zucchini linked below. Take this opportunity to give this recipe a try because it won't taste like zucchini since other ingredients will be added. So if you want a healthy pizza, you'll love this easy and delicious recipe. Wait 5 minutes and I'll bring the zucchini so we can continue. Alright, so about 5 minutes have passed, and look at how much liquid has already come out of the zucchini, and that's without squeezing it. Once you squeeze it, you'll see just how much liquid is left here. I'm going to gently squeeze it with my hand, just so you can clearly see how simple it is. If you want to put it in a dish towel, tie it up and twist it to make it easier, that's perfectly fine too. But I wanted to do it here so you can see just how much water comes out of the zucchini, and of course, you can use this water later to cook rice or for another dish. You don't necessarily have to discard it and throw it away. Look, as I keep squeezing, more water comes out. So I'm going to do this, and I'll put it in this bowl here on the side. I'll do this and I'll be right back with it all squeezed out, so we can continue the recipe, which from here on is really quick. Look, this is how the zucchini looks once it's dry, and look at how much liquid there was here. It's really a lot of water. That's why if you don't remove it, the recipe won't work. So make sure to do this step because it's super important. Now I'm going to add the eggs. Remember, I also have a video here on the channel talking about what happens if you eat eggs every day, whether eggs have cholesterol, and if eggs raise cholesterol. I'll leave that down below in the description for you as well. Let's season it now while the eggs are in here and everything, because it's easier before we get it to the right consistency. So let me just mix the eggs a bit here. I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic actually, pressed garlic. And remember that if you press, grind, mash, or chop the garlic 15 minutes beforehand, you'll release more allicin, which is the compound that brings many benefits to garlic. I have a video here on the channel talking about what happens if you eat garlic every day, how to prepare garlic the right way, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you. I'm going to add a bit of black pepper here, no salt because we've already used that salt to draw out the water from the zucchini, so there's no need to add more. After all, when you add too much salt, you can't take it out, so it's always better to add more later if needed, rather than over-salting the food. Remember that I have a video here on the channel talking about what happens to our bodies with excess sodium, what the harms are. I'll leave it down below as well. To get the desired consistency, we have two options. You can easily do this with oat flour, or you can use another low-carb flour like flaxseed flour, almond flour. I chose to use chickpea flour here, which is a really interesting option because it's rich in protein, high in fiber, has a very pleasant taste, and gives a great texture to recipes. And nowadays it's super easy to find. If by any chance your city doesn't have it in stores, you can always buy it online. Just have it delivered to your home, which is also really easy. Let's keep mixing here until it reaches the right consistency, and I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, so it's ready now, and I'll show you how our dough looks. Remember that the quantities are listed below in the description, and if you have any questions, just check there. And now let's put it in to bake. I put this parchment paper here, guys, because my pizza pan has holes in it, so it wouldn't work otherwise. But you don't necessarily have to use this paper, okay? So I'm going to spoon the dough onto the pan and take it to the oven. When you make this recipe, let me know in the comments how it turned out. I'd love to hear about the result. And share it with anyone who will like it, with anyone who needs it. Let's spread this chain of kindness because that's what I want here on the channel. So let's make our dough here. I'm spreading it out now. It's going to be a big pizza. I'm going to pre-bake it so it's already partially cooked, and then when it's back, I'll add the filling and the topping. So hang on a moment. Just 15 minutes. I waited for it to cool down so I could pick it up here with you, but it's only 15 minutes since it's just a pre-bake. Later, it'll go back in the oven to finish cooking and melt the rest of the ingredients. Let's add a bit of tomato sauce here. After all, it is a pizza. Ideally, you should try to make a homemade tomato sauce, but if you don't have that available, you can use a good quality store-bought tomato sauce. A tomato sauce that is low in sodium and preferably doesn't contain sugar, because the big problem with store-bought tomato sauces is that they usually add a lot of sugar, since tomatoes are naturally acidic and they want to balance that out. I have a video here on the channel where I talk more about tomatoes and tomato sauce, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Don't overload it with tomato sauce. You can see that I'm spreading it out because this dough is already a bit wetter, more moist. And if you add too much tomato sauce, it won't turn out well. So ideally, just use a little and spread it around like this. Now let's add the cheese on top. I'm going to use light mozzarella, which is a cheese I love to use. Remember that different types of cheese will have different calorie counts, and I have a video here on the channel talking about which cheese is best for weight loss. You can use another type of mozzarella if you want, fresh mozzarella, traditional mozzarella, it depends on your preferences. You can even use my homemade cheese recipe, which I've already shared here, made with just 2 ingredients. Just crumble it and put it on top. It will also be delicious with ricotta. Cottage cheese works really well too. Tell me, which cheese do you usually use most in your recipes? I think that's enough cheese. I think this is sufficient here. I'm also going to add a few more tomatoes on top. Remember, if you want, you can also add other fillings of your choice. You can add shredded chicken to your dish, or you can also add tuna if you prefer. What else would you add to make it your own? Maybe some corn or something else, depending on your personal preferences and taste. Chopped onion is also really good. Tell me, what's your favorite pizza topping? Mine actually is margarita, which is pretty much this with basil. But as I eat it often, today I decided to use a bit of oregano. But I strongly suggest that if you've never tried it, you should. I think everyone has eaten it at some point in their life because it's a classic. And it's so light, so tasty, that I think it works really well. But today, I'm just using oregano and tomato. Let's put this in the oven so it can keep baking, the cheese can melt, the tomato can cook a bit more, and I'll be right back to cut a slice and show you what the texture looks like. Hold on. I'm gonna add a little something extra here. I'll put in some onion, because onion gives pizza a special touch. It adds a unique flavor. That smell of onion cooking while we're making the pizza is wonderful, and I love it. I think it's going to go perfectly here. And you can be generous with it, because after it bakes in the oven, it won't even have that strong taste. Let me put the onion over here. Now I'm also going to add a bit of olive here. I know a lot of people worry about olives because they have a lot of sodium, but remember that you can soak them. You chop them up and soak them in filtered water for about 15 minutes, because through osmosis, some of the sodium will be removed, making them much less salty, and you'll just get that wonderful olive flavor. I'm going to put it on top here. I love olives. I have to confess that I really like them, and I also really like olive oil. And you know that olives and olive oil are staples of the Mediterranean diet, which is closely linked to longevity, quality of life, prevention of cardiovascular diseases, and other metabolic health issues. I have a video here on the channel where I talk more about this, about the Mediterranean diet, and I'll leave it down below for you. Now let's put this wonderful pizza in the oven. My mouth is watering already. I'll be right back to tell you how long it took and to cut a slice. Hold on. Just 15 more minutes, and it will depend on whether you like your cheese more browned or softer. Let me cut a slice so you can see how it turned out on the plate. I'm going to cut a piece right now so you can see how our crust turned out. Looks amazing. Make it. Everyone is going to love it. It's even a different way to eat vegetables for those who don't like them, because this way, like a pizza, there's no one who won't enjoy it. I really want to try it. Tell me down below, what's your favorite pizza? You already know mine is margarita, but I want to know which flavor you like best. And if you have any different recipes, I'd love to see your comment. Give the video a like, because that helps me a lot, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or who needs it. Let's work together to spread this chain of kindness as I hope. Let me try it. This crust turned out really flavorful. Make it, because it's delicious, and honestly, it doesn't taste like zucchini at all. I can taste a bit of the chickpea itself and the vegetables on top, the tomato with the onion. It's so good. You'll love it. See you next time. Bye.
Mmm.